Now it's time to start discussing connecting your JavaScript to PHP scripts on the server and how to pass data from the JavaScript scripts using Ajax techniques. And in other words, communicating with your PHP on the server using Ajax techniques to send data to the server. I've already seen an example of this. This is the page that connects to Google Suggest, and you can type a letter and you get automatic Google suggestions back from Google, and type another letter and it gets more zeroed in on the search term you're looking for. And this worked by using this google.html page to send your partial search term, AJ in this case, to a PHP script, google.php, and decoding that PHP in the PHP script what you've sent it, the data you sent it. So how do you actually send data from a web page to a PHP script? And that's an interesting part of Ajax, and we're going to take a look at how that works now. That was when the key event occurred. That was the key up event. In other words, after you finish typing a character, the A or the AJ and the J and AJ, for example, then the key up event occurred, and you're going to call a function named getData with the URL google.php $QU equals, and then input.value. Input is the name of the text field that your user is typing data into. So this is the partial search term. For example, maybe the character is AJ, and the URL you're going to send that data to is google.php. That's the PHP file that's going to decode what you have typed, the partial search term you've typed, and send it on to Google Suggest to get their suggestions back, followed by question mark and QU equals. And QU is just short for query. It's no special parameter. You can use any parameter name you want, but this is the way that it works with URL encoding. To send data to a PHP script, you give the URL you want to send your data to, followed by question mark, followed by parameter name, and then equals, and your data, in that case, is following standard URL encoding techniques, and that is all passed to, that URL is passed to the getData function. GetData function is here, and it's the URL passed, including the question mark, QU, and so forth. Equals is in the data source argument, and so then you're going to use the data source argument and pass that to the XML HTTP request object's open method with a HTTP method of get, and so that is how you pass the data to a PHP function, a PHP script. You give the name of the PHP script in the URL, question mark, followed by question mark, and then the parameters you're going to send. And in this case, you're going to send data under the parameter QU, and then you say equals, and then the data value in this case. So that's the way in which you send data using the get HTTP method to a script on the server. In the server side, what happens is you're going to use the special PHP $_get array to recover the text, the data the user sent to you. Now this data was sent under the parameter name QU, as you saw here. QU equals, and then the input value. That's the partial search term. So the parameter name that this data is saved under is QU, and it's going to be extracted from the get array, the get PHP array like this, by passing that array the name QU, the name of the parameter, and that gets the partial search term in the PHP script on the server, and all this does then from there is it treats the Google Suggest as a file and uses the file open fopen PHP function as read only and gets a file handle corresponding to the file. Then you're going to use a while loop to keep reading from the file handle while not, this is the not operator in PHP, file end of file. So the file end of file FEOF function returns true if you're at the end of the file, and you see while not at the end of the file, you keep looping until you're at the end of the file is what this condition means, and you can use the fgets, that gets a string from the file handle. So this reads another string of text from the file handle, which is actually Google Suggest in this case. You're going to store that in a variable called text. You're going to echo text back to the browser, and then finally at the end close the file handle. That's the way the script works, but the important part from the Ajax point of view here is that you're going to recover the data that was sent to you in this script using $_get, and then pass the name of the parameter as the array index. Now that's for the get method. That's because we use the get method to interact with the server, as you see here. However, of course, you can also use the post method, and all you would do in that case is substitute post for get. So it would be $_post. In this case, if you use the post method, and you would still pass the name of the parameter under which the data is stored to the post method, post array, and you'll be able to recover the data sent to you via the HTTP method post instead of get. So there you are. That's the way to work with recovering data from PHP scripts on the server using Ajax. You just use the $_get or $_post array and pass to the array the name of the parameter under which the data was sent to you in the script. So that's a very common way of working with sending data to the server and recovering it in PHP scripts. Next, we're going to take a look at how you can recover the data sent to you from HTML controls.